Good morning, everybody. My name is Roberto Martinez, aka Monty Boy. Today we're here to talk about the Giants schedule that just came out this evening and my opinions on the schedule and what I think the Giants record will be at the end of the year. As you can tell, I made this quickly in GIMP. I made this up, obviously, there's no official schedule made like this, but I wanted it to be a little different. I wanted to create my own little touch, and that's why you see the Giants logo and the way I have the schedule laid out, so I have the ability, just specifically how I wanted it. So week one, the New York Giants will play at the Titans, which is actually quite interesting. I think we're going to start the year on the road. This is going to be a tough game for the Giants. You know, we have improved a lot. We have improved the offensive line, I think, tremendously. I think you can see a much improved offensive line. I think this game could go either way. It all depends at the end of the day, Daniel Jones. And, you know, that's going to be a theme for this year. I think the Giants have improved many aspects of the team. I think we have a very good defense. Obviously, the loss of James Bradbury a couple days ago, obviously releasing him actually hurts a little bit. But I think we have great depth back in the secondary, and I think it's going to do quite well. But this is going to be a hard game. And it's going to depend on how good the offense is rolling and what our defense can do. Can we stop Derrick Henry? That's the biggest question. Can our defensive line stop? Can our defense, our linebackers, our defensive line stop Derrick Henry? And that's going to be the determining factor. And honestly, we're going to get an L here. But it could go either way. It just depends on what goes on. Obviously, I'm not expecting a lot from our rookies the first game. And obviously, we have a lot of Trayvon Thibodeau. I think that's his name. I know it's Trayvon. So Trayvon, I think, is going to have a great year. And I really do think that from Oregon, the kid from Oregon, we picked him 5th overall. I think he's having a great, I think he's going to have a very good year. I really think so. And then you have Evan Neal, who picked 7th overall from Alabama. I think he is going to be a great player for us. And I think he's going to improve the offensive line tremendously. And that's not including the other picks we had in the later rounds. Then we go home. We play home for week 2. We actually have a lot of home games the beginning of the year. And actually quite much all year. I mean, we really don't have that many away games, to be honest with you, which feels a little different, honestly. I'm so used to having like half and half, but I mean, there's a lot of not too many away games really for us. And I feel like we actually have more home games than we do away. I know that's new, and I think a lot of teams have it that way, but it just feels weird to me, honestly. And then we go week 2. We played in the Panthers. I really truly believe they would think this is going to be a W for us. I truly believe it. I think this is going to be a big dub. I don't see where the Panthers have the offense to beat us, really, honestly. If I'm being really honest with you, I think the Giants have proved enough on defense and the offense. I mean, obviously, at the end of the year, the big thing that's going to be is how is Daniel Jones going to play? I like Daniel Jones as a quarterback. I like his talent levels, but he obviously has to improve, and it has to be a big step in year 4. We declined his 5th-year option. So this is a huge year for Daniel Jones, and this is going to determine his future with the New York Giants. Now we go on to New York week 3, where we play the Dallas Cowboys. This is going to be huge, and this is going to be a huge game, I think, for the team in general. I think this is where you're going to see if the Giants are serious or not. This is not going to be an easy game. It's at home now. Obviously, divisional rivals is always a close game. It's a very close game there. And I just don't know what to think of this, honestly. It could go neither way. Really, it could. It could go neither way. It all depends on how our defense is doing that day. Like the theme of the year, defense and how is Daniel Jones. You're gonna see that a lot during this podcast. But I think this could be a dub just because it's at home, and we usually like trading wins with our divisional rivals. We usually like trading wins. So I'm gonna call that a win, just to be on the safe side. But honestly, you can go neither way, and I wouldn't call it a definite win at all. We've now played the Bears week 4. Thank you for Evan Neal. Really, thank you very, very much, Bears. I do greatly appreciate that. I think this is a dub automatically. I think the Bears don't have the offense to be able to go against us, and I actually believe that's a W for us. Then we go week 5 against the Packers in the United Kingdom in London. This is going to be a tough game. Like I said before, I think our offense is not going to do very well here. It's going to be a very hard game for our defense. I'm going to call it now. But it could go neither way. I mean, it just depends. Aaron Rodgers definitely do not have the offensive pieces around him like he did in the years previously. So obviously he can go neither way. But I think the Packers, at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers is just going to beat the Giants. I'm just being honest. Week 6 is at home again versus the Baltimore Ravens. I think this is going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a competitive game. Lamar Jackson is a great quarterback, but he's not a throwing quarterback. Well, Daniel Jones is actually, I think, a little of both. I think he can scramble and throw the pass. So I think this is going to be a very interesting game. The Ravens have improved on defense and has really done a lot of different things that is going to help them win. I really, truly believe that. But at the end of the day can our defense hold up? And I think not. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, can Daniel Jones do anything? I don't know. And so to be on the safe side, I'm going to make that an L. I think it's going to be a loss there. I mean, the Giants could win, obviously. We just do not know yet. I mean, it's just too early to tell. And honestly, I shouldn't even do a winning and loss record right now because we just don't know. I mean, there's a lot of ifs and variables that need to be put in place, and we just don't know the variables yet. No, week 7 versus the Jaguars, honestly, we already know what it's going to be. It's going to be a W. And the Jaguars is just a joke of a franchise. You heard what happened over last year, and honestly, it's a dub. The Seattle Seahawks, you know what? That's automatic dub. Honestly, the Seahawks is not a team that I'm really afraid of this year. They got rid of Russell Wilson. They're making changes. They don't really have a quarterback yet. So I really do think that's going to be a W. So as you can tell, we're going in our bye week. The Giants are 5 wins, 3 losses. You're pretty much on a hot streak with 2 wins in a row. Now we go against the Titans. The Texans, week 10. I think this is an absolute W. I really do think so. I mean, I would even consider the Lions a W. I just don't see these guys, these teams that were coming up right now on this part of the season after the bye week, being able to beat us. Honestly, I mean, this stretch right here is an easy stretch for us, and I truly believe that. I think the Titans and the Lions, the Texans and the Lions, not Titans, fuck. I think the Texans and Lions are going to be dubs, honestly, just my opinion. Obviously, it could go neither way, but I think with the team that we currently have now, with the rookies really developing at this part of the season, where they're really playing probably their strongest at this point. We just got off a bye week. I have 8 weeks under their belt. I think these could be dubs. And, obviously there's a lot of variables in place. Is Daniel Jones healthy? Because obviously we have a lot of concerns with his health. More than just his health, though, in general. Can he be the franchise quarterback? He hasn't shown it yet. His rookie year, he looked good. He looked fantastic. He had issues with his fumbling. He fixed that so far, but he has digressed in terms of production. And so we have to see if he can do that. Week 12 at the Cowboys. I think this is going to be an L. Just like I said before, I mean, it's going to be a close game like all the other divisional games. This is the strength of our schedule where it's going to determine, are we going to the playoffs or are we not? Really. I mean, you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. I think this is the part of the schedule that's going to be difficult. And it's probably the biggest stretch that we're going to have that's going to be very difficult. We're pretty much facing all of our divisional opponents within that 4 to 5 week time span, and this is going to be the determining factor. I may put an L for the Cowboys because, it just seems like we like winning at home and then we like losing away. Usually that's how it goes with our divisional rivals. So I'm going to give us an L that week. The Commanders. First year watching this now. The Commanders, I just don't see where they're going to beat us. Honestly, they have Carson Wentz. He's an okay quarterback, but there's questions. And, there's questions about his work ethic. There's questions about can he actually do it. I think this is a dub. I think the Giants has recent history shown we play well against Washington and we actually beat them more times than not. So I'm going to give us a W there. Week 14, the Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Honestly, I absolutely hate Eagle fans, to be honest. They're one of the most cocky individuals you can ever meet in your life. I'm going to call this a dub because we are playing at home. We are playing against the Eagles. The Giants usually play well versus divisional rivals, and I like to have us win at home. The Commanders, you obviously know I'm putting a dub, just what I said earlier. I just don't know if the Commanders have it. I don't know if the Commanders can beat us. Honestly, they have questions at quarterback. They have questions across the whole offense, basically. And so it's very questionable that we really have to question, are they actually going to be competitive? Honestly, I don't know. We won't know. So until they play games. So Week 16 versus the Vikings. I think this is going to be a fantastic game. This is where it's like, you know what? These both teams are probably fighting for their lives to make the playoffs. It's going to be a fantastic game to watch. And I think there's going to be good things to come out of this. I think the Giants will, at the end of the day, win this. I think they will. I think they can. Obviously, it's going to be very close, I feel like, with Kirk Cousins. You know, most people hate on Kirk Cousins, but I think he's a very solid quarterback. Obviously, he's not that superstar quarterback, but he can put up points when he needs to. And so that's why I'm putting us a dub. That's why I'm saying it's going to be a very close game, and it could go neither way. Now, Week 17 versus the Colts. Look, this is a dub right away. Matt Ryan is a great quarterback, but his production has dropped over the years. He's older. He's not as good as he used to be, and that's why I'm calling it a dub for this week. Obviously, it can go neither way, and it all really depends on Daniel Jones and his health and how he's playing. Obviously, the theme of the year is Daniel Jones going to be good or not? Is Daniel Jones going to play good enough for us to win football games? And honestly, all these wins doesn't matter at the end of the day if Daniel Jones doesn't play well. Week 17 at the Eagles, I'm going to say this is an L, and you're going to see the Giants. My prediction is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 wins. That's a little bit on like the high side, I would say, honestly. I would say there's a lot of questionable ties here. You're going to see them win about. Realistically, this is a number I would hope we win. But realistically, I see the Giants winning 9 games. Realistically, 9 games is where I would like to see the Giants win. 9 games, realistically, is where we're gonna most likely, I'd like to see us do. 12 is like, you know what? That's where if everything is going well, everything's perfect, and that's what the Giants' record will be. But obviously, you know the Giants, nothing's ever perfect. So I see them winning 8 to 9 games realistically. 12 games, if we're on fire, we're just absolutely killing it, and we get the dubs that we should get. I mean, because you look at this part of the schedule, we should win against the Jaguars, we should win against the Seahawks, we should win against the Titans, the Lions, the Commanders, the Vikings, and the Colts. We should get wins there. The Bears, we should get a win. The Panthers, we should get a win. Everything else on this schedule, I don't know. It's all questionable. Really. All questionable. And so that's my opinion. My name is Roberto Martinez. If you like this podcast, make sure you give up the thumbs up button down below. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can never miss another video. Have a great day. Love you all.